All right, I'm making this video right here. Will be attached to some other things. I found some very interesting things to help deal with killing off these parasites that the game stalkers latch into your body. But I had to think over the situation of what I saw because it just, dude, that video was like 5 months ago. And it just seems like everything that has been happening was just all laid out there upon a situation. And then when I think about my targeting, what these bastard gang stalkers have been trying to do, even back when I was working, dude, these assholes were always constantly trying to, like I told y'all before, they were constantly, because from what she mentioned, like she did mention a female, but like she also mentioned a dude. So I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck? So I'm starting to think about like what these bastards were doing with my targeting, right? And what these pricks were doing was they were basically trying to give like, tell everybody, oh no, he's gay. He's gay. No. I've never been like that and I am not interested in that. No. Period. No. Just no. And that's just how it's gonna stay. I love my women. I love a woman with a nice rack. I love a woman with a nice curvaceous figure to her. I love a my particular preference in women, if anybody must know, is women with raven colored hair. That's right, I said it. I love a woman with dark, very dark hair. That's my preference, but I also have preference within other races of women as well. I don't have it's just that's just one of my favorite ones right there. There are many other ones out there as well. As far as I do have a certain type of black females that I love. I do have a certain type of other women of other nationalities that I love. Doesn't matter what the race is, as long as she fits the characteristics of what I'm looking for. I mean, that's it. But and another note, back to what I was talking about earlier. I think that this weirdo who was in the whoever the fuck that was in the reading must probably was a fucking dude, right? It must have been because when these weird like some of these assholes they got the wrong idea. These stalkers, right? They got the wrong fucking idea, and this happened more than once. They ended up going like, "Oh, he ready." I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? These are the gang stalkers doing this. So that's how I was able to figure out like if that reading was definitely accurate and true, which it probably is, judging by the fact of the date of when that was read in this situation. In my situation, I am an Aquarius and I am a targeted individual, which means that would have had to been a dude. So here's my message to that shit. Look, man. I'm not into dudes, okay? No. Period. That's just not gonna happen. I don't give a fuck what a person's sexuality is. All I ask is that people just keep that, like, look, whatever the fuck you're into, just keep that shit to yourself. I don't give a fuck whose sexuality or what a person's sexual preference is. Just keep that kind of shit to yourself. Look for other people who are into that. Stop trying to force people into that shit, okay? Stop that shit. Seriously, and that goes for everybody, man. That would normally do some dumb shit like that. Stop trying to force people into that shit. That ain't right. That ain't right, and that's fucked up too, and it's unfair. Not to mention, regardless of the gender, I would never, ever date somebody who's a fucking gang stalker or who's even in cahoots with this bullshit. That will never happen. Why? Simple. It's not that a person doesn't have the ability to change their ways, but you can't take back what you've done. I've said it before and then I've said it again. When you accept that money, that dirty money, you got to understand that money, what has been traveled around through this corruptive organization, that money has blood on it. Countless of people have died. Countless of people have had their families torn apart. Countless of people have had their own damn children tortured, dude. Their own damn children. Even their unborn kids. Yes, that's right. I fucking said it. Even their unborn kids have been tortured due to these lunatics using these DEW weapons. That's how serious this is, if people didn't know. These assholes don't stop and have no boundaries to this testing bullshit of theirs. And guess, you know what? If you look back at a video that I did, it showed, the first part of it showed Brian 2 when he got assaulted, and then you'll see the next part of it, right? Of Jesus. They're calling, that's not his real name, but they call him Jesus to protect his, to protect his identity. But dude, they all because of the fact that he could have sued a firm for their bullshit. Because they didn't want to get sued, they had people go up to him and his family, use DEW weapons to torture him and his family, his kids, his unborn child, his wife. You think I would fucking date? I don't give a fuck, even if it was if the person is a female who was a part of that reading of which is being described. You honestly think I would fucking date anybody a part of that organization? Are you fucking out of your mind? No. Never. Period. But I'm not finna stoop as low as to hate anybody. No, I'm not finna give nobody that at all either. You're not gonna drive me to hate anyone. No. That's not gonna happen. I seek to continue to also help as many TIs as possible. But something, her reading is very accurate, because right now, when she said I was like in between both darkness and light, aren't I detoxing? Didn't I not make the anti-nano barrel? Did I not literally start getting this crap out of my body? Did I not start doing that? Because I believe I did. I started detoxing this crap out of my system to get this shit out. So no, if this prick wants to know what my answer is, it's no. I don't give a fuck, even if it's a female. If you're a gang stalker, I am not interested in you. Period. If you're an agent, I want nothing to do with you. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to be your acquaintance. I don't want to have a fucking thing to do with evil, okay? No. This shit has ruined the lives of so many people. You still have the choice to basically change your ways and end this shit. But that's your problem, not mine. When I said I didn't know earlier, I meant that I didn't know who the hell that could have been. I didn't know. I really didn't know. But I knew one thing for certain, that I would never ever even have feelings, or even hell no. Just no. Okay? No. I have my preference and I stick right to it, and I'm not going to be programmed into being something I'm not. I will destroy this technology. I will expose those who have used this on me and as well as everybody else. Even if it costs me my own life, I will do what I can to literally put a stop to this. People are convinced that the Illuminati can't be beaten. I don't think so. I don't think the whole point of the shadow government is hidden is because people just didn't tell anybody who their identity is. Clearly, there had to have been someone who's seen them. If not, okay, let me run a scenario by you then, right? First off, and I mentioned this before, right? I had an audio recorder. I've showed the audio recorder too. I did. Why would the gang stalkers steal that? Oh, that's right. Because I had evidence on there. Why would they steal it? Because they were afraid of that evidence. That's why. Why are family members around the Kanika Jenkins, the ones who went into that party, as well as some acquaintances and friends who were all at that party on the day of her murder? Why are they dying in a single month? Fear. Fear. They're afraid. Why? Because the same thing I've been saying before, these assholes will get in a group of with people. They will lace those people with this bullshit that they use to control people. As soon as they get to that point to where they're starting to snap out of it, they become a risk. The whole fact that they took those people out in a single month was fear. Think about Obama's situation, right? Aren't people saying that he's technically a Muslim? Aren't people saying that he was technically Osama bin Laden? How come damn near just about every single member of SEAL Team 6 ended up dead? How come the woman who was traveling from another continent all the way over to the U.S., getting ready to basically show and testify that yes, she was the one who signed his birth certificate and literally give out the statement that would have been putting everybody at awe? What about that? Why did she die just so happen to die in a plane crash? I'm telling you, these assholes are afraid. They hide behind masks, but they are afraid. There's fear there. They pretend that they're not, but you can't hide it from me. I see that fear. I know what's there. Same with these gang stalkers. You think these assholes are protected? No, they're not. And I was hoping that people would understand that with that video that I posted. I know TIs do, definitely, as well as some whistleblowers and some truth seekers. But apparently these idiot gang stalkers don't. This is me saying this. If you didn't get it before, I'm telling you it again. This goes for the people who hired you too. You are not protected. What do you think is going to happen when people start breaking free from this shit? And they have irrefutable. I mean, dude, you can't even get more obvious than this. What I've shown is clear enough evidence. What Miss SH space P has shown is clear enough evidence. What Vulcan Wolverine has showed was clear enough evidence. What every TI has shown when it comes to their targeting, as long as it's very credible. Because I'm like, here's the thing: when it comes to the whole street theater thing, it depends. It depends. Like look at Nappy Head Roots' situation, right? If you're able to predict what they're gonna do before they do it, and then they do it, that's the kind of evidence you need. And you got to have several bits of that in order to show that this isn't a common thing. This is something that they're deliberately doing. These people who are being sent to do this are not protected. No, they can go to jail just like anybody else. A TI has shown this happen. And guess what? You want to know why they can go to jail? Because they need to maintain appearances. That's why. So what's going to happen when these gang stalkers fuck up and do something to somebody who's not related to your targeting? Oh, they're going to have to pay for that shit. Why? Because they don't want people noticing that this whole corruptive bullshit. If it has something to do with the TI, it's different because they got to still maintain, tabs on him or her. But they're not going to sit there and waste their time with an uninvolved situation like that, man. They're not going to do that. You think these assholes are really going to stick their neck? Let me tell you something, man. I'm telling you right now, these gang stalkers are not protected. They're going to have to eventually answer to God for what they're doing. I'll say one thing, though. And this is why I was telling people, please look into the religion that you're worshiping, because there is evidence that they have been fucking with the Bible. So it's definitely worth checking into. Just to be certain, okay? Just to be certain, just to be aware. Man, though. Anyway, I'm going to have 3 videos clipped onto this one. Well, probably not. Probably not, because that seems to not work anymore when I try to clip them together. I'm going to have to fix that or figure something out about it. But anyway, what I am going to do is, I found what is known as a parasite zapper, right? It's a device. I found one particular kind, but I saw some other ones. You don't want the ones that basically go up to a higher voltage. Why? Because that's not safe. It's not safe and it's dangerous. And I made sure I did some research about this before I debated on uploading anything about it. May have made a few videos, but I'm probably not going to upload those, and I'm just going to revamp it or whatever. Re-edit this so it'll be more suitable for everybody, so that they know what they're getting and nobody's in danger of nothing. Now, I looked at some sites. Now, as far, I believe it was Doctor. You know what? No, I can't. The name escapes me right now. They may be fucking with me right now just to prevent me from even realizing what that name was again. But yeah, man. Like it's just no. Like no, I would never. I'm not dating anybody who would ever involve themselves in this shit. No, no. I mean, if they're trying to change their ways, that's good. That's damn good. That's definitely good. We need more people to do that. But I hope you understand what she meant. But I hope everybody understands what she meant by that reading. I'm in the process of having to protect my own spiritualized energy from this darkness. Remember the words that I have said, right? Remember the words that I said. They act out negatively. They say negative things to project negative energy to you. Why are they doing this? It's to lower your spiritual vibrations. The only way to combat that, don't act out. Don't get mad. Basically, the only way you can combat hate is with positivity and love. That's all you can do with that. Don't allow their bitterness to make you a bitter person. Don't let that happen. No. And don't even let this make you prideful either, because the Bible says that God rejects the humble, but not the humble. Damn it. Not the humble. God doesn't reject the humble. God rejects the prideful and he accepts the humble. That's what he does. He rejects the prideful and he accepts the humble. That's what God does. But I'm picking up tinnitus right now, so they probably are trying to mess with me as best they can. But no. And they're gonna have to eventually answer for everything that they're doing. It's that time is gonna come. It's gonna happen. Now, these people, there are so many people that believe that an organization can just remain hidden and not be torn down and not be found. Dude, I hope people understand the process of this. This is an organization that has been known to turn on its own multiple times, even kill off people who works for it. Do you think that these gang stalkers who are stalking me are excluded from that shit? No, the moment they become a liability to the organization, that's it. They are cut off immediately. So this is why I urge people to be careful who you get yourself involved with. Be careful. Because if anything, man, this is the whole reason why I'm not even dating right now. Because like I've said it before and I say it again. I don't want to invite this type of chaos inside of a woman's life. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go out and try to get my heart to a woman out there right now, and then she has to deal with this shit, man. You see how much other crap is going on right now? This is why I want to be able to continue to help everybody out and be able to put a stop to this. Because every day it's like these damn demonically influenced bastards are still, part of my language, but it's like they're constantly trying to just mind manipulate you. They're constantly trying to basically, if not that, they're constantly trying to get you to, to either try to set you up or get you to set yourself up. And it's just a constant battle. And it's just like, seriously. Now, this said from what this was mentioned, is basically someone who I absolutely cared for. So again, it could be a female or it could be a dude. And I'm saying it could be a dude based on what these damn gang stalkers were doing. And if it is a dude, look, I'm not interested, okay? No, I don't swing that way. My main interest lies with women. But then again, if it's a woman, then I have a few people who who I actually do suspect that possibly could be involved. Um, it's a crazy situation, though, man. It's a crazy situation. I don't know, but at the same time, even if it, like I said before, even if it is a woman, like just no, no. Once you've involved yourself with that, I want nothing to do with that. It's in that shit's trying that crap's literally tormenting me every day, constantly stalked, constantly gaslighted, constantly verbal harassment, as I'm being electrically tortured day in and day out. Again, when I said I can only imagine, when she said that there's great fear there, there is, and I'm not kidding around. You think that's just gonna go for that particular person? No, no. Every person who has involved themselves with gang stalking, who has contributed to this type of behavior, who has aided into it, who has accepted that dirty money, who has done and worked to destroy the lives of many, you're gonna feel very shitty when you're gonna have to answer for all of what you have done. And you still have time to change your ways, but I mean, if you keep deciding to go with this, you're gonna regret it. You're just gonna regret it. That's as best as I can tell you. So many people, I've lost count of how many people I've actually heard who have warned these individuals that are doing this, they need to stop, and they still just keep on doing it. Acting as if like their actions are not gonna, like there's not gonna be a price to be paid for that. Thinking that they can just commit torment. Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing about that. When you die, you can't take money with you. When you die, you cannot, and I do mean this, you cannot take collateral stuff with you. You can't take that stuff with you. You can't. Aren't they digging what about the pharaohs and stuff, right? Aren't they not digging those things up? Aren't all those artifacts and all those jewels and stuff, are they not on display in museums? Are they not? Did they take that crap with them? No. So just really look at the scenario here, what these gang stalkers are doing. They are tormenting people for money, for things, right? For things. Which is very selfish because nobody should have to go through this, because understand, when they work for this, they are working for an organization that is very well involved with human trafficking. All right? That's what this stuff does. That's what this organization is. And that's become like I said before, that's become a major problem. A major problem. But you know something? Despite all of this, I don't even have a shred of fear in my being at all. Not of them. No. Because I see beyond the deception. It's not that they're saying, "Oh, we," like when they do all these gestures of death and stuff like that. It's just the trigger fear. It's not that they won't actually do anything. I mean, they eventually probably will with the right circumstances. But understand, the whole thing is to generate fear. Why? Because they feed off that. They are energy vampires. They feed off of your fear. I'm here to say my energy is mine, not theirs. I didn't consent to be zapped with these weapons. I didn't consent to be stalked. I didn't consent to any of this crap. None of it. I don't know why I was made a target individual ever since I was a child. I really don't have the answer for that. I really don't. Maybe people saw something within me that they were scared of, that they didn't like. I don't know. I really don't know. Some reason, most of the times when I was growing up, like whenever I was in high school, it's like people just unnaturally, and it's just she would say like I just really had a lot of crap going on, and she's right. Whenever I was when it came to elementary, when it came to high school, it was constant bullshit, just throwing my way for no reason at all, none, just none. The teachers were no better either. They didn't do their jobs, man. They did not do their fucking jobs. And now I know because they were fucking told not to do their jobs. And this happened, there were two instances where this particular thing has happened. There were teachers who actually felt somewhat of remorse, and I didn't know why. And all of a sudden, they just put their all into teaching. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm actually learning shit now. And now that I look back that I'm a target individual, oh, now it makes sense. These teachers were told not to literally make certain that I did not learn anything beyond a certain point. And they were paid off too. That's what it was. They did that, everybody, as a means to condition me, to keep me in a state of dumbed down. For some reason, I don't. I don't have the answer for that. I don't. My grandfather somewhat knew that I didn't belong in the classes that I was put in. Why? Listen, it takes nerves of steel for what that man did. He set me down. He had me sit down on the couch. He had the math problems were right there. Now remember, the teachers were the only reason why I learned any bit of math is because of my grandfather and what he did. I want people to understand that. And this is that is what I call tough love for what he did. Every time I got a math problem wrong, I got popped on the wrist with a rubber band. Every time I got any problem wrong, I got popped on the wrist with a rubber band. It hurt, but I learned. I still learned. He knew I didn't belong in them damn classes, man. He knew I didn't. They kept me in there as out of an attempt to keep me dumbed down, everybody. It's not an easy topic that I actually would talk about, but it's starting to the more I look back at my past, the more I'm starting to understand everything that has been going down in my life, everything that's happened. Whoever put me on this list wanted me there at some point. So I'm not sure who started this, but whoever started this had to have been someone, someone from my mom's past that started this. And I fear that this goes even beyond my mom. It goes to even towards my grandmother and her past, based off some of the actions I've seen her do. It's unfair for a situation for a person to be completely manipulated by technology, and the people responsible for this shit are in a safe location, just controlling, manipulating a person's actions and behavior. And that person has absolutely no idea and no way of getting retribution or justice for their own victimization. And then they got people caught in the crossfire. And that's a situation that has happened time and time again, you know? That is a situation that has happened time and time again. So many people, man. just robbed of their lives due to this. They say curiosity killed the cat, and they're not joking. Some people say that they don't believe that the Illuminati can be stopped. I don't believe. I believe that they can. I have enough confidence that they can be stopped. I have enough confidence that they can be dealt with. A shadow organization is only shadowy and is only hidden until people basically track down the people who basically know the ties and know exactly who's involved. Remember, there are people who saw their faces. There are people who know where they're at. There are people who know where to find them. You go down the trail, you'll find the people responsible. But it's not so much as men that they have to fear from. If they don't get punished by man, they're going to get punished by God for certain. So either way, they're screwed either way. I'm quite certain they're well aware of that, and they're basically trying to ruin as many lot. And this is where it gets even worse. Like they know they're screwed at this point. They know this. So it's like they're trying to basically ruin as many lives as possible before their time comes. You know? That's what it seems like. I swear nobody signed up for this crap. Thinking that literally having it, all those times, just literally go on, waste them, all that time wasted, man. All that time wasted. If I had known what I knew now, way back then, way before now, the first thing I would have done is said, you know what? Fuck this. And I would have already long since went off grid. You work 9 to 5s at a job only to make pennies worth of money. And you're being lied to in your face, telling you you have to pay taxes, you have to pay taxes, you have to pay taxes. When in reality you don't. And it's just the straw man tactic that they're using on you just to keep making money. And the people who tell you gotta pay taxes are just assholes who are being paid off to enforce some bullshit. To enforce a lie. To keep people paying taxes because that's how they make their money. This shit is nothing but a slave system. A slave system that wasn't even put in full force, and now they're seeking to put it in full force. I look up into going off grid, but you still got to be attached to their power grid. You still got to be attached to the damn city's power grid and shit. You still got to be attached to their sewage systems too. So what? The water I get supposed to still have fluoride in it, and if I don't have that, then I'm gonna get fined. Are you serious? Everybody, I made up my mind on what I was gonna build, and I'm gonna build a boathouse. I'm gonna build the biggest boathouse I possibly can. I might have it about a pretty decent size, but it's not gonna be easy. But I know it's definitely a possibility, and I know it's definitely, definitely possible. As long as you got the will, there's a way. I want to be able to help everybody out there. As I mentioned before, I've made a playlist, and I've in that playlist, as you all will see, they should be public. So all you got to do is just go to the playlist on the channel, and you'll see it. You'll see a few playlists that says target individuals in Louisiana, target individuals in UK, and target individuals in New York City. And there's a few more too. There's a few more. Now, the thing about this is that this is what I'm doing to basically find as many different channels as possible that have that that mentions target something about target individuals, that are showing them where they're at and what state they're in. That way, we basically can actually be more because this is going to be very, very important, because what this is going to do, and this is what I'm telling you, the gang stalkers were freaking out when I started to do this. They were freaking out because I was finding other targeted individuals in the area going through the same shit. Remember, I didn't post that video that basically mentioned the characteristics of stalking for nothing. Remember how that guy mentioned, if the same, like if that same approach techniques happens repetitively, that can very well lean into the instance of stalking. Why do you think they keep swapping the people out so much? Because it's to avoid that. But what if several targeted individuals are catching the exact same people doing the exact same similar characteristics of that? What do you got then? Oh, the whole operation is blown out of proportion then, because then they can't fucking do it anymore, because the more they do it, the more they TIs can collaborate together to have an investigation out on their ass. And that's what we need. We need fellow TIs to launch a joint investigation out on this bullshit system. You do that, you got a hell of a lot better chance of taking them down. But at the same time, we got to be careful. Got to be careful. Remember, they use PTSD, post-traumatic stress, to control people. That goes for just about any TI who's been victimized of this. They will use manipulative tactics if they have gotten you under these weapons. That goes for any TI that is latched onto these weapons. So it is a dangerous situation. But as long as we be careful, it's going to be worth the risk. But this is why I created also the playlist to deal with PTSD. You need to ease and basically decondition yourself from the tactics that they have used on you. It's very important that you stop reacting to the colors that they harass you with. Stop reacting to that. Decondition yourself from that. Decondition yourself from the verbal harassment, from all of that stuff. I have a playlist that deals with PTSD. The best thing you can do is use also the playlist that raises your spiritual vibration. That's also good too, because you'll find out that whenever you go out, this shit won't even faze you. They could act all weird as they want, literally make themselves look like a fucking clown. It will not do anything. No effect. They actually had to send, and I mentioned this before, they had to literally send a perk to literally, have direct scripted conversation with me just to get a reaction. They had to stop in front of the entrance just to get me to stop. Just to get me to stand still until they moved. So you see, what that does, it forces their hand. It forces their hand when you don't react to the passive bullshit that they do. The whole point in why they do the scriptive, verbal harassment, the whole reason why they do the color harassment is to trigger your reaction. That's the whole point. They're doing this to trigger your hand. You need to flip this to trigger their hand. Because when you start triggering their hand, they are more exposed. And you'll be surprised on how more exposed they are than the passive shit that they do. You'll be quite surprised, because I caught them with this shit several times and they did not like it. That's why they stole the voice recorder. They didn't want me to have that. No, because that damn thing had a lot of telling evidence on it. A lot. They had evidence of the verbal harassment happening at my job, and the verbal harassment happening all to wherever I was going. I would basically do a date and time, right? And I even did a recording too, showing me using it. But I didn't have the recording on the other device that I was using But when I basically, you know what? Hold up. Before I even go any farther, okay, good. But it didn't have the recording going as long as the length of the actual voice recorder. Dude, I had around 9 months of evidence of verbal harassment. 9 months. That much evidence. I had the McDonald's incident on there. I had the death threats that they made on there. You name it, everything. Everything. And it was that much of a threat to them. However, over the years, I've learned not to put my all into materialistic things. Why? Because the devil will use those materialistic things out of a means to control you. Why do you think they steal? Why do you think they tamper with things? Why do you think that whenever you have something expected to be delivered, that they fuck with it? If I catch them doing that, I don't even bother basically wasting my time. I'll just go and basically, just relax and do whatever the fuck I want to do with the rest of my day. I'm not finna just go out of my way, just you know, getting all bent out of shape because they're fucking with stuff. They're gonna fuck with stuff regardless. I don't consent to what they're doing, of course, and that's the point. I make one video, one or two or three videos announcing the situation on what's happening, and when something new happens, I'll deal with that too. But if it's the same thing, no. If I catch you doing it again, I'll just take documented evidence and I won't react to it. Remember, the more and more they do, the more evidence you have. Don't let them play you, you play them. Let them give you the evidence. Guess that's about it for all I got to say on here. The other videos I'm gonna have uploaded soon. I still need to go over through that stuff. But if you're wondering, it's a device that helps you zap the parasites that are basically in your system. My prayers and love go out to all of you. Stay safe, stay strong.